Hey, what is going on, everyone? I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday. Today, I wanted to create this video to share with you my insights on some bounce back, undervalued stocks that I personally feel can add so much value to your investment portfolio, including various Bitcoin plays. So, before I begin, I'd like to inform you that all of the information I'll be sharing with you should be used as guidance information only. And anytime when you do consider making an investment, please always make sure to do your research, okay? Now let's get started. Okay, ticker number one I wanted to share with you is Zomedica by the ticker ZOM. Now, as you can see, this ticker had gone from like 6 cents all the way up to a 52-week range high of like $2.91. However, since week one of like February up through April 13, it's been taking a downward path here. As you can see, it's hovering at the threshold of like $1, now reaching below $1 threshold. There's a lot of ZOM investors asking whether they should be holding, what should they be doing. My takeaway is you have to truly understand its product innovation, what is the company's competitive advantage, what's in it for this company, who are their competitors, is this a big market where there's lots of competitors competing with providing thyroid diagnostic products. Now, the fact that there's only one competitor, IDXX, involved, that just tells you that Zomedica can take market share. So from a long-term perspective, let's say if you're playing the long-term game with this company, it can definitely catapult upward, right? I mean, what goes up very fast will likely start dropping. However, based on your strategy of investing, whether you'd want a dollar cost average down, right? You can buy it at a lower cost average, and then once it goes up, you can increase with your future valuation of the company. But from my perspective, I do see that this company will bounce back up to like the $3 from my perspective, based on its product innovation with True Pharma. And we shall hear news from Andrew Cohen coming up. And let's not lose sight of Zomedica, even though it's been just taking a downward trend. So I feel you, let's say if you have investments in this company, it can hurt. But, ask yourself, what's your entry exit strategy? Are you a long-term investor? Now, if you're unsatisfied with this company, if you still have faith in it, do you want to consider investing more? So look at all of those risk parameters and see what fits best to your investment strategy. Now, next ticker I wanted to share with you is Aphria by the ticker APHA. I mean, this ticker was like previously around the $4, and it ran all the way up to $26. This is a Canadian-based cannabis company where today it hovered up close to like 7%. I personally think that this company, in terms of its share price, even though it went up by like 4x, 400% gains based on its current valuation at this time compared to where it was in the prior year, it definitely will reach its prior resistance of like $26, right? And that's nearly like 80% gains right there. It actually went from like $4 all the way to $26, so that's like 600% in positive proceed gains. However, we know that Mexico had just announced legalization. We know Canada is legalized for marijuana use, and the fact that the United States, there's talks about different states getting legalization on board. So from a long-term perspective, Aphria will start exporting more products, not only in the NAFTA regions, but also in the international regions as well. And from a share price standpoint, I do forecast this to be like a $30 share price come end of the year, potentially. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is Skye Bioscience, right? I mean, why is this company so unique? This company is working on a prodrug for glaucoma patients who are experiencing potential blindness. Now, this company uses derived cannabinoids, bioengineering that, adding different amino acids so that it can bind with your innate receptors in the eye. And this isn't your typical company where you can go and buy marijuana from your local dispensary where it gives you that psychoactive therapeutic high effect and then lower the intraocular pressure. What this company is working on is bioengineering the products so that the clinical benefit can reduce the intraocular pressure. That's the leading cause for glaucoma, as well as providing neuroprotective effects. What's exciting is that this company has been hovering sideways since early March all the way up through now. So it's been over a month now where it's been hovering sideways, establishing new grounds in the lower double-digit share price range. And once the data from its Q2 announcement takes place with neuroprotective data as well as IOP challenge studies compared to commercial drugs that are being used right now, then this ticker will catapult likely beyond up to the 20 to 30 cents range. And can it go up to 40 cents? Very possible, but that will likely be more in place around second half of the year. So we just have to think of this company as holding on to a baby, letting it develop in your womb, and once it does develop, then this will mature and catapult from a share price standpoint. And the inflection point will likely come in phase 2 clinical trials sometime in 2022, and that's when it can definitely reach up to like the whole dollar share price range. So that's like 1000% gains. Not too much people know about this company. However, we know that cannabis is the name of the game, and it's bridging the gap between pharmaceutical science and cannabis. Look at GW Pharmaceuticals getting bought out, one of the leading pioneers of cannabis play, where it got FDA approval with this drug product. Well, Skye Bioscience is next up on the list, specifically in the ocular space. So let's not lose sight of what Skye Bioscience can do for you. On top of that, it's also hiring a head of regulatory and quality director at this time. So think about it, right? Its product is likely going to be going into clinical trials second half of the year. So it's ramping up with its processes in place to work with the health authority to put it on the map, get some vision through the lens of regulatory and quality from health authorities, and that's only going to look much better for Skye Bioscience, where this company will make headway with a regulated product, a prodrug that will go through clinical trials. So Skye Bioscience can 10x, 100x from my perspective. So let's not lose sight of this company. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is Interscope Hearing Technologies, right? This is a ticker INND. Although today it had gone down by 30%, this is definitely an opportunity to dollar cost average down. Let's say if your average cost is much higher. I mean, one of the great announcements was that on Sunday it announced that it had partnered up with BJ's. So we know that BJ's is a well-established company with millions of consumers that they work with, and that'll only scale up the visibility as well as distribution of the hearing aids that INND produces, and that's only setting the company up for success while it already has e-commerce established with Walmart and Amazon. Once INND taps into the UK market, that's even better, and then you'll start hearing great news about this company once patients start using the product and talking good things about it, and whether they would recommend it to their other friends with hearing aid problems. Although it's unfortunate to see the share price drop by 30% within one day, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, I do forecast that in Q2, Q3, the ticker can catapult up to the 20 to 30 cents range. So let's not lose sight of what INND can do for you, led by CEO Matthew Moore, who has solid experience in the field of audiology. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is an exciting company, Agenus, based out in Massachusetts. Why do I like this company so much? Well, it's currently undervalued from my perspective, right? I mean, as you can see, this ticker hovered all the way up to like $5 threshold back in early February, and however, it's lost nearly 50% of that already. Now, we know that this company has a robust product portfolio in preclinical trials, clinical trials at this time, with a number of different drug products that they're evaluating for safety and efficacy. And the fact that it has 26 open positions at this time for hiring in Berkeley, in Massachusetts, other areas, that just tells you that from a long-term perspective, this ticker will catapult up, and I do suspect that the share price will reach beyond the $5 to $6 range. So that's gaining potentially on 100%, 120% on positive proceeds. If you have the opportunity to just park your money there, you will gain significantly, right? Because this is a very bouncy stock where it'll go up, right? So you don't have to worry. I mean, it's not going out of business. So if you park your money there, I'm going to have a high probability that the share price will catapult back up. So next ticker I wanted to share with you is Inovio Pharmaceuticals by the ticker INO. Why do I like this company so much? Well, to keep things simple, this company has DNA-based immunotherapy vaccines for different diseases such as glioblastoma, MERS, Zika, infectious diseases such as dysplasia, and it's also working on vaccine for the COVID-19, specifically the INO 4800. I suspect that come this quarter, there will be positive news for entry into phase 3 clinical trials and potentially EUA status. We know around the United States right now, there's around like 50 EUAs that's already gone through FDA process. What's one more to be added? I mean, most of the vaccines are approved through the emergency use authorization, but technically no product has been approved for safety and efficacy. It's just because of this pandemic. Health authorities are just allowing for these drug products to just get the EUA status. Now, the fact that we heard news about J&J having potential clots with its product, I mean, that raises fear all around the small cap companies. Although this is an opportunity for companies to have that laser sharp focus and really think in terms of how it can deliver on safety and efficacy with its products, because in the long term there's definitely market share that small micro caps can definitely take on. So Inovio Pharmaceuticals fits that position, because now with the variation strains going on in the UK as well as in Africa, the question is whether there's going to be a positive correlation with taking the current vaccines like Pfizer, Moderna, and the number of infections increasing. So all of that data will be looked at. Statisticians will compare to see, okay, so of all the patients already vaccinated, why do we see an uptick? And we're starting to hear potential fourth waves coming, even though the season is changing. I mean, you look at Michigan, right? I mean, healthcare professionals are seeing things that's been just enormously mind-boggling, especially in the hospital. Cycle time for patient care, it's been tough out around those areas. So that's why it really puts Inovio Pharmaceuticals on the map. I mean, Department of Defense is working with this company. So this company previously ran all the way up to like $35 back in 2020 Q2, and now it's in the single digits. I definitely feel like it's undervalued, and if you go long term with this company, it can definitely add value for your investment portfolio. Now, I think of this company as a high quality company, so it's something not to ignore. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is iBio by the ticker IBIO, company based out in Texas, where it leverages plant-based technology with Tom Isett as the CEO. He's been the CEO for over a year now, and he's come from various backgrounds. I mean, GE Healthcare, he's brought in different board of directors in clinical finance to really take control of those areas of the company. And from an organization standpoint, I do see that iBio in the long term will grow in its share price value. And why? I mean, it leverages fast farm technology with high efficiency, low operational expense, with partnership with Texas A&M, where Texas A&M is part of the process that iBio is involved with. And the fact that it's working with one of the greatest institutions in Texas, right, one of the largest institutions by fact, then that tells you from a long-term perspective it'll grow in future valuation. Previously in 2020 the share price did hover up to like $7. However, now it's at the mid $1.46. Question is, can it hover back up into the high single digit range? I have firm belief that it can. It's a plant-based company. Look at Medicago in Canada, where there's high praise for that company, and iBio basically has plant-based technology where it has a vaccine for COVID that's being evaluated in preclinical trials. iBio 201 subunit lichen protein. It also has vaccines for swine flu and fibrosis. So working on a number of different vaccines, and it has open positions. So from a long-term perspective, iBio will definitely add value from my perspective. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is Sundial Growers by the ticker SNDL. Today, the share price had gone up by 5%. I mean, it's been taking a downward trend since week 1, week 2 of February, where it reached the threshold of like $3. It lost by 200% of its gain already. And I mean, it's been since February, so nearly 60 days where it's on a downward path trend. I definitely feel like it's a great opportunity to own some SNDL stocks because from a long-term perspective, given the fact that we know NAFTA has legalization with cannabis use, this company is only going to start doing better in the long run, this Canadian-based company. I mean, this was previously around like the 40 cents. I mean, it's 200% gains there, but from my perspective, it's going to ramp back up to its prior resistance, if not reach beyond like the $5 come Q3, Q4 of this year. So let's not lose sight of what SNDL can do for you. I mean, since it's dropped by this much already, since $3 now at the threshold of 98 cents, a drop off of 200% since February 10th, it's definitely a value add play that can add value to your investment portfolio. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is a company that is based out in New York with the CEO who came from UC Irvine. He's definitely leading the team in the right direction. I mean, today the share price had gone up by 16%. Current share price is hovering at like the $60 range. This was previously hovering at like the $78 back in week 2, week 3 of February, and it's been taking a downward trend at $40. 45 as another trough, and then 48 as another trough, but it will start bouncing back up. While in correlation with Bitcoin price, right, we see Bitcoin at like 64,000 now, while Bitcoin continues to rise, as well as other digital currencies in play. You will see Riot Blockchain catapulting upward at the same time, and this company focuses on mining for digital currency, so that's part of the game right now with NFTs, digital currency, blockchain. All of that has high demand, and Riot Blockchain will catapult up to the $100 share price range, at least in 2020 from my perspective. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is a biotechnology company based out in South San Francisco, working on a wide array of different drug products in clinical trials right now, as well as in preclin. That's Rigel Pharmaceuticals by the ticker RIGL. Today it ramped up by like 16%, nearly 17%, with positive news from its phase 2 clinical trials data, using it on hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So this is looking very solid from a long-term perspective. I mean, previously it ramped up to like $4.60 back in week 1 of February. It's on a downward trend, but today it's been catapulting up. I firmly believe that it can ramp up even further, possibly up to the $5 range coming very soon, at least in Q2, Q3 of this year. So let's not lose sight of what RIGL can do for you. This is a low risk play based on its product portfolio and the fact that it's producing products out from South San Francisco. We know innovation comes from areas like San Francisco, at least in the biotech arena. So RIGL can be a moneymaker for you. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is Vaxart by the ticker VXRT, right? I mean, this ticker previously ran all the way up to like $25 back in 2020, and it had a recent peak back in January 2021, as you can see here, around the February time frame. However, current share price is in the single-digit share price range. I definitely think that this is an undervalued play right now, and this company is working on a different mode of delivery where you actually take an oral pill form, and the fact that there's the J&J news coming out that presents fear, and this is an opportunity for small cap companies to add value. I mean, this company, if and when it can demonstrate safety and efficacy through taking an oral tablet form, I mean, can you imagine how it'll distribute its product versus having healthcare professionals to administer the vaccine through bolus delivery as opposed to just taking an oral pill? What if you start seeing these be distributed all around the airports and you have healthcare professionals on site to monitor post taking the actual drug? Or do you even need to have someone monitoring if the data demonstrates high safety profile? So that's Vaxart. Based on the current share price, significantly undervalued. It can 2x, 3x, go back up to like $20, $25 in the long term, and you can gain on huge positive proceeds. So let's not lose sight of what this San Francisco-based company can do for you. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is a San Diego biotech company also in the COVID-19 play, and that's Sorrento Therapeutics by the ticker SRNE, led by Henry G. Why do I like this company so much? Well, they are working on a number of different diagnostic products, therapeutics, antivirals, cytokine therapies, just a large product portfolio, not only to support the COVID-19 pandemic, but also to support and advance medical unmet needs in like cancer of various diseases. Now, share price is definitely undervalued, and that's why I like it. I mean, this ticker previously ran up like to like $25 around 2020, and back in February ramped up to like $16 where it is right now. It's lost most of its value, right? I mean, at 693, definitely undervalued. The question is, when will it bull run back up? I mean, we know that it has potentially 8 products right now for the COVID that can get EUA announcement within days, weeks, months. We don't know, but if and when that data gets released, this company can catapult up, and you will start seeing the trading volume increase significantly, right? And let's not lose sight of what SRNE can do for you. Next ticker I wanted to share with you is in the digital currency realm, and that's Ethereum Classic, ETC. Not Ethereum, but ETC Classic. Why do I like it so much? Because it hasn't even reached its prior resistance value, right? I mean, back in 2018, when we heard so much about digital currency, it ramped up to like $42. But now it's only halfway there, right? I mean, you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's already bypassed its prior resistance value, but there's definitely room for growth with Ethereum Classic. That's why it's definitely a value add play. And by looking at the volume, you see this up in the billions area at this time. So Ethereum Classic can be a runner all the way up to like $50 coming very soon in Q2, Q3 of this year. Next digital currency play that I would recommend is Cardano, by the ticker ADA in the Bitcoin world. Let's say if you don't have a trading app, you can look at Coinbase, and you can basically convert, buy, sell digital currency, right? I mean, just looking at this from a max view here, I mean, back in 2018, it was at $1, and it had slow movement after that. But just since 2021, it's been just ramping up. The question is, can it go up further? I have high conviction that it will break the $3, at least in Q2. Q3 can definitely run up to $5 to $10 from my perspective, and it's been just going huge right now. And looking at the volume, it's up in the billions at this time. So that sums it up overall. I hope that these undervalued stock plays can add value to your investment portfolio. I mean, these are some high quality companies, right? But it all comes down to how you actually buy the stock, right? I mean, if you look at certain companies I share with you, if you bought it at the high peak, that's how you buy it, and basically you're at a loss right now. But how you buy it is when you want to buy it when the share price is undervalued. And I've shared with you at this single point in time these ticker plays that are undervalued. So I hope that it adds value to how you invest. And thank you for watching another episode here at ALliseeisW. Please take a look at the links down below to support my branding. Let's say if you don't have a trading app, take a look at the Webull account I have below for a discount. And I've also shared links down below for several links for my online e-commerce business through Amazon, as well as several links of natural supplements that I take to really improve my A game and performance, whether it's through work, investing, or going high fitness performance. Now, thanks again for watching another episode here at ALliseeisW. Thank you. Have a great day, all. Goodbye.